Welcome back to Hot Rod Guy Garage, and today we're going to dig a little deeper into this 65 Mustang. So follow me along through the intro, and I'll be back. And alright guys, it's another week and another day to mess with this 65 Mustang. So what I need to do, I need to get this cowl removed from the car, or at least the top, where I can access the bottom and see how bad it actually is. So let me flip it around. I'll show you a few other things I've seen since the last video, and we'll go from there. So we all seen this old botched up cowl in the last video. Well, where the bumper brackets were welded on the car on the frame rail, that one's got the hole welded shut in it, and this one's all boogered up and broke loose. So that's going to have to be cut open and fixed. And of course it's going to have this core support because it's all bent up and rodded out. And I pulled that panel out. It was literally just bolted in with absolutely no spot welds anywhere. And I'm pretty sure that, it's brush painted under the hood because look at that mess. So I got everything else off of it, the bumpers, the filler panel, the valance, and everything. So I'm ready to start trying to get this upper cowl out, which I still got to take these braces off. But the big thing is I got to get all these spot welds exposed so I can see them and drill them out. If you've never done this, these spot welds literally run all the way up through here, all the way across the windshield base right there, all the way down, all the way around. There's like 20 billion of them that you got to drill out. And you better have a good drill bit when you do it. So what I'm going to start off with, a wire brush. I'm going to go around this lip and expose all these spot welds. Well, pink as it does. Look at that. We've seen none of them since the darn forever. Alright, it's going to be darn near impossible to see all the spot welds in this thing because there's so much globbed up mess and dirt. But before you can start drilling the cowl spot welds out, you got to remove these two little panels from the apron right here. These right here connect your aprons to your upper cowl on both sides. And fortunately, these don't have a whole lot of spot welds in them. And obviously, this drill is dull, so let's go get another drill bit and see if we can't get this drilled out. Get this removed on this side, get the other one removed. Then we may just run a chisel along this cowl and see if we can't split it apart. So with a little drilling and a little chiseling, I've got it off, and as you can see, it's all bent up. So what I need to do now is straighten this piece back up and get it back in its original shape so we can actually reuse it in here when the time comes. So let's get this hammer and dollied out, get this nut clip off here because it's garbage anyway because they cross-thread stuff in it. And now you can see a good view of that cowl in here and how bad it actually is. The fact that you see down inside the car right there. So lots and lots of fun ahead. So sometimes a bench vise and a body hammer and a dolly will save you a bunch of hassle. So I'm just going to stick it back up on here and see if we're reasonable the way it fits, and we are. So may do a little more tapping around on it. I need to get that other side extracted too, and then we can start on the real fun stuff. At this point, I may actually just take and use a cutoff weld and whack the whole cowl out before I start drilling spot welds. That way I can at least kind of peel it up and I can kind of see what's around the edge. The big thing is, just don't want to damage the inner aprons in here, down in here where it attaches, or the firewall seam on top. The rest of it get replaced. So let's get those set off. Well, I got most of our spot welds drilled out on this side. Here, and there's 3 in there. We got Daisy making sure I'm doing something right. Just get up there on the roof, lay down. You get the metal in your paws. So, should be ready to try to knock this one off, and then we can straighten it up where it's all bent up too. Well, I got this second one extracted. As you can see, they generally not end up looking like the shape they were when you removed them. So that's why I go ahead and straighten it out now. That way I can sit it back in here and make sure everything fits all right. It'll make it easier in the end and allow these to be blasted and cleaned up. Get all that rust and stuff out between them seams. And a little hammer and dolly work later, I got it straightened up quite a bit. It's still not perfect, but it does sit back down in its spot, can be fitted. So pretty poor what they've done on this old car. So I hate I had to take it apart this far, but this one wouldn't make it safe. And regardless of what anybody may tell you, the cowl in these cars is structural. It ties your firewalls, your inner wheel wells, your A-pillars, your front structure. All this stuff is tied together through all the sheet metal on these cars. Even, guys, the doors are structural if you think about it, because when they're shut, they're bolted to the A-pillar and connect to the missing B-pillar, but they connect to the structure here in your door jamb, which is tied into your C-pillar structure. And I do believe the fastest way it's going to be for me to extract this cowl is to go ahead and cut the top panel off and then work on the cleanup on the edges of it, because I've still got to take all the wiper linkage and stuff out of the car. But I need to get the top off right, and it says how bad the lower cowl actually is. And since he's on his way today, it's Friday, which means I should see him sometime later on this afternoon. I want to go ahead and at least get this upper cowl out, so when he gets here, he can see what's actually here. Well, surprisingly, the lower cowl isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Got a little hole here, which I could see that from the bottom of the dash under there. But it's pretty solid. I mean, other than the hat's being rubbed out, but got a little rot right here. The metal's pretty weak. But I'm going to get all this stuff vacuumed out of here so we can see what we actually got. I literally just took that top half off. So, they sell repairs for hats, and these small spots can be patched as long as you know, there's no weak stuff I can push my screwdriver through in here. So, may actually be able to save the lower cowl. Just have to get all this crap out of here first. And I'll also say this. It would be almost kind of foolish to patch the lower cowl, but I will probably give him that option if I can't jab a screwdriver through it anywhere. Personally, you're this far deep, you need to go ahead and replace it. Well, now we can see fully. Got some right here, got right here. If you can push through this with a screwdriver, guys, it's rotten. So, got water leaks in your old Mustang, this is the way you get them. Either this hat's rotted off, which they sell repair pieces for the hats, and they sell cowl assemblies. But if you can stick a screwdriver through it easily, like that, this is kind of my go-to for fix or don't fix. But as you can see, she's rotten. Now, you can get away with patching half of it or, you know, what have you, but you still have to buy a cowl to get that half. At this point, it's just as much work to patch this, make it look nice, as it would be to put a whole lower cowl in it. The other side over here is surprisingly solid, at least from appearances. You can hear the difference in that metal around through there. So this car must sat with a bunch of leaves and stuff packed around that driver's side, because the rest of the cowl in here is pretty solid. When I say Phillips head screwdriver, guys, I try to use the sharpest one I can find, because you'll go right through that rust if it's there and soft enough. So at this point, we need to start extracting this lip all the way around and trying to separate this lower cowl and the upper cowl from the other structural components of the car, including the dash, because the dash is welded in these cars. It's welded to the inside of the windshield frame, which is welded to the inside of the lower cowl, which is welded to the outside of the upper cowl. So at this point would be a good time to go ahead and remove your wiper linkage out from under the dash, along with your vents and anything else that might catch on fire or, you know, get cut through or damaged. At this point, I went ahead and removed the speaker. The defroster ducts are still in there. Probably need to go ahead and remove those and all this wiper linkage stuff. But for today, I'm going to leave them in there. I'm going to start trying to extract at least this lower lip right here. This is not going to be a quick, easy fix by no means. And by no means a one video fix. Lots and lots of drilling, gonna be lots and lots of chiseling, lots and lots of hammering and straightening along the ways. But in the end, this will make this a good solid car and a good safe car. So once we get all the other stuff addressed, you know, that's not safe. So like I said, this is a major undertaking. For a beginner, it's very, very involved. Something you may not want to dive into and may actually want to contact the shop. But you're going to go through a bunch of drill bits, a bunch of spot weld cutters, or what have you. You could grind the lips off of it if you want to. I extracted this upper like I did, where I got access with my chisel and stuff. I can get in here behind everything and kind of, you know, work it up. Just in case I miss a spot weld or two here or there, which is going to happen, because nobody can drill all of them out the first time and then all come out and be savable. All right, I'd like to correct myself too. They do make patches for the lower cowl, and that may be a viable option for him, but it's this decision he's going to have to make when he gets here. Until then, I'm going to work on extracting the upper cowl lip, and we can go from there. So I'm not going to video me drilling all these spot welds out and chiseling off the rails. But you can't get the idea what's going on here. I'll flip the camera around and I'll show you. So guys, the goal here is not to drill all the way through. I'm trying to use a drill bit that's big enough that I can just drill out the top of the weld. Then I can go in here and just pop the centers off. And what that does, that just leaves me sometimes a little flange like this I got to grind off, or just a little bit of cleanup work. Need to be super careful through these braces for your lower dash and stuff. But here's your lower cowl. You can see there's actually a gap between your lower and the dash, and the upper ties everything together. So I'm going to keep on working along. Like I said, there's about 20,000 spot welds, or 1,760,000 something in there, and every one of those has got to be extracted and not damage the parent metal that we need to attach back to. So got a long ways to go, a lot of time and a lot of drilling to go. Well, a couple hours later, I'm about halfway done. Found some more of that mystery black stuff they've been using to botch rust up here in between where our cowl braces bolt on. The good thing is this flange don't look too bad up through here, and neither does that flange. So still drilling along, still chiseling along. If you're doing any kind of work like this, a chisel just like this one right here with a sharp 45 on the end of it works great for these flanges. Because once you get it started, you can literally go through here and knock the spot welds off one at a time. So I'm going to continue drilling up around, and then I'll start from that side and work towards the center again. Like I said, there's about 20 billion spot welds there. So it takes forever. Can't really video all of it all the time, or this video would be like hours and hours and hours and hours long. So I try to condense this stuff down into a smaller format for you guys. What I do know is he needs these videos to blow up so they actually generate a little revenue. I've been doing all I can to help him out, but man, this is something else. Like this week, I've knocked a whole day of labor off for him, try to help him out. So it helps out when y'all comment down below, like these videos, share them with your friends, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button, because it helps YouTube pick this stuff up. So let me get back to work. Hopefully I can get the rest of this flange off today, and we'll just see where we get. Well, it's a couple hours later, and I got all the upper cowl extracted. Now, to remove the lower cowl, it's just about the same amount of work, except you got more spot welds here that are staggered from the other ones, plus the ones that were there before that may have penetrated. So to get the lower cowl out, you got to take this fin out, wiper linkage, wiper motor, everything off the bottom of the cowl that could possibly catch fire or be an issue. Pretty much everything. It's got to go out from under the dash to get the cowl out correctly. So I got it cleaned up pretty decent. There's obviously some spot welds grind down, but I'm not going to grind them down if we're going to put a whole cowl panel in it. I'll do that after it's removed. So that's going to be a choice he's going to have to make if he wants to just patch this side and let the rest of it ride, or if he wants to go ahead and put the whole panel in it. I'm going to let that be his call. So good thing is all the flanges are pretty decent and got them all removed without destroying anything. So that's always a positive point there too. So our next step is to either patch this cowl or replace the lower. Unfortunately, it's going to be another video because I don't have a lower cowl, I don't have an upper cowl here, or a core support. So we'll have to get that stuff ordered, depending on what he decides to do there, and then we can proceed forward. So guys, if you do, I would greatly appreciate it if you hit that like button on this video, share it with your friends, and most importantly, if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. If you are a subscriber, I greatly appreciate you watching and supporting the channel by watching these videos on this horrible hack job of the car. And I know he greatly appreciates it because any money I've made off these videos, I've deducted it off his bill, along with knocking labor hours off of time on my own. I've pretty much been matching what y'all been matching, if not double or triple over. So I greatly appreciate it if you take a moment to comment down below, because it helps YouTube pick up this stuff on the algorithm. And I'll see you at the next video on this horrible 65 Mustang hack job. It ain't over yet.